And we're live.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're finally here at the end of the season 7 of Game of Thrones, and we are here at Queen's Landing. We just finished watching The Dragon and the Wolf. We saw a dragon and a wolf, and we got to see them get together. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. I'm Melissa, my co-host is Gabby, and we are joined here by all of our guests that we had all season long. They're all writers from the Young Folks, and we'd like to just jump right into it. Very raw and very like we just saw it. If this is my TV, we just saw it. So we could start from. I want to talk about this very last scene because I have questions about this dragon fire. Are there actual ice cubes coming out of his mouth, or is it like blue fire?
That's a good question. I was wondering that too. Like, is it actually blue fire, like the hottest fire, or is it like an ice blast?
I just kind of saw it as like a big blue beam of destruction. I thought
I saw cubes, but then later on I kind of saw like flames. So I don't know, because the thing is, I feel like it's not really an ice dragon if it doesn't breathe ice. So I'm just like, I want this to be corrected.
I don't know.
I think it was probably blue fire. I didn't think it was necessarily ice. But then again, I've seen lazier writing in the show this season, so maybe it is. I don't know.
Shade.
Oh, you will hear more, believe me.
Yes. So, we're talking about finally the freaking wall has come down. And you know what? I got so excited when that happened, and I feel like a little bit evil for being happy, but I just feel like I've been waiting for that to happen since like the first episode of this show. The first time we see a White Walker in episode 1, I'm like, oh, damn. So it's just really cool to see this coming to fruition, seeing this wall come down, and they're finally crossing over and attacking the north. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I obviously, like, we kind of all knew after last week's episode that this was going to happen, especially with the dragon. So just now, like, that the White Walkers are actually coming into Westeros, and they're going to have to actually face them and, not beat around the bush and all this other stupid shit they've been doing for, like, almost 7 seasons. It's kind of really thrilling, but then it also, like, makes me wonder about next season and only having 6 episodes and how they're all going to get this shit done in that time.
Aren't the episodes longer, though? The episodes will be longer, aren't they?
I hope so. I would imagine they would have to be, but at the pace that they're writing this and the way they're kind of skipping over some of the more specific details that we kind of have to forget about in order to, like, kind of like suspend our belief a little bit. It's, I don't know. I was just like, it was really awesome, but I kind of wish it came earlier.
I was feeling the same way because, like, it was a cool ending and whatever, but with the thought of 6 episodes left, they still have to take care of the army of the dead, and then they have to take care of each other. That seems like a lot of battles to fight and a lot of dead characters to get through until we come up with an ending. So
I think they should have killed more people this season. I feel like it's ridiculous that, like, Tormund has, like, he's like on his 10th life. I feel like he should have died last episode, maybe turn into a zombie. He definitely should have died this episode because he was, like, at the wall. It's just crazy. And
didn't he die?
The characters
did he show it?
I didn't believe he was on.
If they didn't show it, if they didn't show it, that means he's alive, which is BS.
Yeah. No, I think they've gone definitely a little fan servicey with the characters this past season because they used to never be afraid of killing off people because, you always be like, don't get attached to someone because they're going to die. It's Game of Thrones. But they set up Jorah to die so many times and he didn't die and neither did Tormund and neither did anyone big that we liked. That I just feel like now they're kind of just being a little too servicey now and getting afraid to cut off like these characters now, even though we have 6 episodes left.
Yeah. A lot more people, I guess not a lot, but I feel like more people that we're attached to. Maybe Tormund and Davos or the Hound. It's like crazy that they're all still alive. So
yeah, I definitely I definitely thought more people were gonna die in this episode. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, we're gonna say goodbye to like a ton of people we love, and in the end, the major death was one I've been hoping for all season. So,
but before we get into that, for a second, I thought like Jaime was gonna die because like Cersei, like she's a crazy look in her eye. I thought she was like, oh my god, he's gonna betray me. I have to kill him. And the mountain was right there, and the mountain is so scary. And I thought like she was gonna like do it right then and there.
And
but
he like drew his sword. I thought it was gonna be like a quick like decapitation too. But then he just like walked away. So I was like, oh, I don't know.
I thought the mountain and the hound were just gonna go at it.
I know. I was hoping for Clegane. Like,
yeah, I wanted it. I'm like, kill each other, do something.
It's like, okay, you like teased us that for like the third time, and it didn't happen. So
you're giving us everything else we want. Just give us that too. Come on.
Exactly.
I know, right? Like, yeah, he was like, you know what's coming to you, brother, or something like that, and I was like, okay. I'm like, just like, what is that? Because I would like to see it. But yeah.
So we are kind of talking about now this meeting that we've been promised since last episode, where we kind of get, the King of the North, Dragon Queen, and Queen Cersei all in the same room together. And I have to admit, I knew like some spoilers, but watching it, I was still like tension filled. Like I still felt like anything can happen because like she's crazy, and they all like don't trust each other. So I thought it was really still exciting to see them all in the same place.
Yeah, I just felt like they were really stupid to believe that Cersei didn't have anything else up her sleeve. Mm-hmm. Like, they left there thinking, like, all hunky-dory, like, oh, yay, we convinced Cersei, we could go do what we want now. I'm like, no, dude, like, come on.
Was anybody convinced that, like, she wasn't playing Tyrion?
Oh, I wasn't convinced at all. I don't think she has any humanity left in her at all.
No.
I thought that dynamic was really interesting because it felt very much like Jon and Dany are the kids and they're trying to play in this adults game, and Tyrion goes off to, we need to have adult time to kind of figure out what's going on and clean up the mess that the kids made. And the dynamic, I think, is really interesting. Like, moving forward, it's like these young kids, because they're supposed to be 20-ish?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And they're playing in this game that, Cersei, she's seen it all. So I don't think that she has any soul left.
Yeah. And I also got that vibe when Tyrion was kind of watching the room at the end while they were getting it on, and he looked concerned. So I was was
concerned, and I'm not sure why, because I feel like they need to be allies. So why does he look that worried? It's because he doesn't want her to get distracted by some good penis? Like, what?
Like, I think maybe that they would put each other over the war, the common good, because that's technically what Jon did. He put his oath to her and, in front of what was actually going to be good for the people, which was making an alliance with Cersei. Knowing that if they have these strong feelings for each other, they will do anything for each other, but maybe at, the risk of other people.
Sort of in the same vein that Cersei and Jaime have been going on for a while, and that their relationship kind of consumes everything that they do, like all of their actions, although probably no longer. That's what I kind of was getting from Tyrion at the end there.
Tyrion's another one that I'm surprised that, he had no guards at all around him when he met up with Cersei, and I'm surprised she didn't end up killing him. But then I guess if she did, then Dany and Jon are like right outside with their armies, and she had like a war right then and there and not survive. So I feel like that probably is why she didn't order the mountain to kill him right then and there.
I mean, he really tested her. I mean, for a second I was just like, but then it made me think that if he's really testing her, he knows that she won't kill him. And
I don't think so. I thought he looked pretty surprised that she didn't kill him.
Yeah, he did. Because
why would he risk his life like that just to prove a point?
He was holding his breath, and then when she
don't know.
Make the order, he let out a breath. Like he was relieved that she didn't end up executing.
And then he went to go get a drink or
He's
two.
like, I need wine now.
He was playing with fire there. Like, he knew it was a huge risk because the mountain could have easily just sliced off his head right there.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, both.
It was a very tense moment.
It was.
Especially since it was like kind of like their first meeting in a while, and Cersei's always been very closed off. And you can see finally everything is just getting on the table, every grievance that she's had against him. And it was literally playing with fire, I think. I was really scared for a second that Tyrion was a goner, even though he definitely wouldn't be.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, I kind of went into this episode thinking he was going to die, just because I felt like that would be the death that would result from a meeting with Cersei. But I mean, I guess I'm glad I'm wrong. I mean, I always liked Tyrion and add something to the dynamic, especially with Daenerys. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's very intriguing that he is very concerned about Jon and Daenerys being together and what it can mean for their future.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like what AJ was saying, you know, they're kind of like the kids in this adult game. They're very naive about everything. They think that everything can be solved by just like a talk or, you know, simply asking something of someone. I feel like they don't really have Cersei's mindset. They're not very skilled in the political game yet. At least for Daenerys, she's not skilled in the Westeros game, and she thinks that everything can just be, you know, divide or conquer, or just like, you know, threaten. It can't be.
I think by now they already have joined forces. I mean, it's an alliance that's pretty much set in stone. I think that they could be insanely strong together. They just need that backing, at least for right now, to kind of lift them up. Because I think what sets them apart from the people that have done it for so long and have gone down the dark path to try to keep it is that a little bit more than most, they have morality, and they kind of have a compass that guides them in a certain way, even though Dany has these tendencies to want it yesterday and want things, you know, her exact way. I think their morals and kind of, especially with Jon wanting to stick to his word, I think that bolsters a really good alliance, but they just need to be smart about things.
Yeah, and that starts with not trusting Cersei.
Yeah. Item number 1.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I mean, in season 8, I really need Tyrion to stop being a shitty hand and get ready for the possible betrayal of Cersei and like be helpful for once. So hopefully, I'm jumping the gun with the green side thing, but I'm just I'm just saying how I felt about like him being a hand. I'm just like disappointed, like his plans didn't work left and right. So I'm guessing hopefully next season is a better season for him.
Which is weird because he made a really good hand when he was hand to Joffrey, but he didn't get to shine for very long there. I guess he lost his touch.
Yeah.
Well, he's a little out of his element now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, being on Daenerys' side, you know, an outsider of Westeros, he doesn't exactly have the same pieces that he had before. So I think, and he's up against Cersei, who is like probably his match when it comes to being clever and just kind of outsmarting each other. So.
Yes, I love that we finally had a scene with them together again. Even though I was scared that she was going to kill him, but I love seeing those two actors in the same room and just like battling it out with their minds and their words again. It was really thrilling to watch.
It was definitely. And I think it really is a stark difference between Cersei and Jaime's interactions. Like, I literally thought he was going to die. I mean,
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was ready for like the mountain to like slice him in half right then and there. I was just like, oh. But then he walked away, and like you guys said earlier, you know, it was confusing because it seemed like she gave him the yes, but so I'm assuming that Jaime walked away, right?
Yeah, because it's a very important detail that he's no longer wearing his golden cloak from King's Landing and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like he's done with her. Like he's just like, peace out, I'm out, you're fucking crazy, I'm gonna go ahead up north and stay alive.
Plus, I think all this season there's been like kind of clues to him defecting from her, just from like his reactions to things that she says, stuff like that. I think even, was it last episode we found out about the pregnancy?
Yeah.
I still think it's great.
And he just seemed kind of not enthusiastic about it. I don't know. I wasn't surprised that he eventually left.
I think her, not wanting to band together and save all of them was like the last straw for him. He's like, you're picking death or you're picking death, but you don't want to choose this way where we can live. And this makes no sense to me. I'm going to leave and join the people who are trying to make us all live. So I think he's definitely like done with her.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad, because as we all know, I've been waiting for this. I mean, he's just like, just being such an, for just sticking by her side for that long. I'm like, I don't know how you can do that. But he finally, he had his wake-up call, seeing a zombie on the ground that, I think it's good. And plus Brienne, I think definitely kind of helped make him realize, like, hey, like, you can't just let this go. And I think he really respects Brienne. And I think that was kind of like the final thing that like said, okay, I need to honor my word that we made. I'm not going to be like my crazy ass sister.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because she was just like, well, fuck loyalty. And he's like, what do I tell her? And the fact that he really didn't say anything and he walked away. Mm-hmm. From her, I think he's just taking what she said and employing it, and that's the relationship we all want to see. I want to see them together, just living happily.
Yeah, me too. I kind of ship them as well a little bit.
Do you remember the bear? Remember the bear?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting Brienne and and the Hound now, after their reunion. I was like, okay, no, I kind of want them now.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, I get that. It was a nice little, it was a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to be really mean to each other, but in fact, it was surprisingly cordial. So
I think they knew that wasn't the time and place to let out all of their past skeletons.
Yeah, really. But yeah, that was a nice little piece of dialogue there. Yeah, oh my god, you guys, what else happens? There's so much, and I kind of
there is still something in this meeting that I wanted to bring up. I am forgetting what I was going to say, so somebody else say something while I think.
Can we talk about Littlefinger really fast?
Yeah. Yes, because he's finally dead.
I'm definitely okay with him being dead. It's just what I have a problem with is more the story that led up to his death, and that was the conflict between Arya and Sansa. I'm glad they're not it's not what we thought it was. But I don't like the fact that it happened kind of off screen from us, their little conspiring behind Littlefinger's back kind of thing. It just feels like all of the conflict in those other episodes that we were forced to watch kind of don't mean anything, because it made some of those other episodes kind of boring. You know what I mean? And then for it just them be like, oh, never mind, they were tricking everyone just to kill Littlefinger. It was a little weird, but I'm glad he's dead. So kind of, I don't know if I have that much of a problem with it.
It might have been my misinterpretation, but I felt like
it was real.
They realized it after Sansa had the meeting with Littlefinger, and she's kind of doing the whole speech. But
I think so too. I thought the tension between the sisters was real. They were really beefing and arguing, and then it was after the meeting that she had with Littlefinger was when she realizes, because she uses his thinking, about how he was saying trying to think the worst of this person, and then she decided, okay, what if he's the one? What if he's the one who experiences this? So I thought it was half freedom play towards hitting him.
And especially Sansa says that she's a slow learner. So that's why I thought it was real.
Yeah, that's why I really liked it too, because I also agree that it came like after all the tension and everything. And so when she kind of switched it at the end of that meeting, it was like, whoa, like a real big powerful punch. And just watching Littlefinger be like totally pathetic was crazy.
That was my favorite scene. I just think like something amazing, and to see Littlefinger's reaction, because you never see him unravel. He's just always ahead of the game. So when you see him kind of unraveling and realizes, like, oh shit, like she's about to kill me, like that was so thrilling for me. I loved that scene.
I love when he started crying. It was like the epitome of what his true character really is.
Life. Are you kidding me? It was great.
Yeah. He's someone who's played all sides for a whole 7 seasons, and I think that's the only side that we saw of him. And then just to see that, really he's just like this pathetic person underneath was very cathartic. And like I do agree that the tension between Arya and Sansa was real. It's just like the kind of just the plot around that felt contrived to me, I guess.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Build up to
that. Because I would have liked to seen at least like a little bit of a scene with Sansa and Arya realizing together, like, wait, what if he's the one who's kind of manufacturing all of this? Let's come up with something to try to get him executed. I think that would have made all the other scenes that had tension between them mean a little bit more if we had seen that scene between them.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, I think it could have used a little clarity as far as when the realization came between the sisters that they were being played. Because I do believe that it came afterward. I would hope that all those scenes weren't for nothing, because they were just trying to fool us as the audience into believing that they really hated each other. So, I mean, I was a little convinced, so I hope that, I hope that there was a legitimate animosity between them and that it soon morphed into something else once they realized what Littlefinger was up to. But other than that, I'm just so happy he's finally dead and he's not fucking things up at Winterfell anymore, because we ain't got time for that. 6 episodes, people.
That Littlefinger gotta go.
So, yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's just really like, I don't know. I really loved it. That was probably my favorite scene.
That was my favorite scene. I loved it. Again, it's like performances I think were really great, and shout out to them. I hope they get all the awards. I loved it.
Yeah, guys. Theon has his moment. What did you guys think about that?
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Say something valuable, because I have nothing valuable to say because I just don't care about saving Yara. But
that scene I really didn't care about. I was kind of like, but the scene before it, when Theon's trying to say, well, I don't know if I'm a Greyjoy or I'm a Stark, and he's kind of trying to corner Jon into saying, like, you can just go off or justify leaving to save his sister and trying to do the right thing. I thought it was a scene that was about forgiveness in the beginning, and then it was about just another kind of betrayal in the end. Because Jon's like, what are you doing still talking to me? Like, just go. I have forgiven you, and you need to just move on and do what you need to do, because you're just no longer needed for us here. You've done so much damage. Go and focus on your own life.
I didn't really read it that way, or like I felt like there's more forgiveness at the end from Jon when he was like, what are you still doing here, kind of thing, kind of like a winking kind of thing, like, hey, go save your sister kind of deal.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I I don't know. I got it more like kind of like what Katey said, that just like, oh, go save your sister, because I think to Jon being so forgiving, so kind, so like, I mean, more than he should be sometimes. And yeah, but I mean, that's a really interesting perspective though on it, because you are right. He is no longer vital to the story, at least the story at hand that we need to tell. And I think him going off to save his sister is kind of like a good send off for him. I mean, I'm sure we might revisit him, but it's not going to be like, I mean, I can't imagine it being very important at this point.
Well, he has to go to Euron, right? And we found out from Cersei that Euron didn't really go back to the Iron Islands, so he'll eventually run into the same war that everyone else is going to be in, trying to save Yara.
So then I'm thinking Yara is still in King's Landing, probably like in a cell, since he went over to Essos to get the Golden Company.
Yeah.
Well, I thought she was gonna stick around Euron. Like, I thought he would just keep her with him, with his fleet.
Maybe. I
don't know, but I mean, that is a good point. That I think maybe Theon's gonna be the one to stop Euron in that whole part. Of the story.
Maybe he'll be useful then.
Yeah, useful then. Like, Melissa will be like, I'm not going to give this guy credit until he does something I care about.
I don't care about the subplot. I almost forgot it happened.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know. I kind of am with you there. I've never really cared for Theon and his back and forth of whether he decides to do shit or not. And so we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But,
I will say that when he kills that guy, I thought it was a pretty good moment for him, just because he hadn't had a good win in a while. I think his last one was when he pushed Ramsay's girlfriend off that wall, but that was more out of like an in the moment kind of thing. This one was more like calculated. He went down to the rest of those Iron Islands people and was like, I'm gonna get these guys to fight for my sister and whatever. So that was a good, like, sort of redeeming moment for him, I think, and one he really needed.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think he still needs to earn some more redeeming points after all the shit he pulled. Sorry for all the torture. I don't mean to disregard the torture he went through, but at the same rate, I'm just kind of like, come on,
Theon.
I'm reminded what I wanted to talk about from this meeting.
Okay.
We have a little bit of a aside with Jon and Daenerys. And again, they bring up children. The fact that she can't have any.
Oh, she's going to be pregnant next season.
And then, my favorite part is Jon is like, oh, but how do you know she's a credible source or whatever? Like, really? How heavy-handed can this be?
A wink, wink.
Because, like, exactly. I don't want her to get pregnant. I don't want that, because we spent this entire time believing she can't get pregnant.
Jon has magic sperm.
Plus, he's a Targaryen.
Have sex.
Yeah.
She's going to get pregnant, and they're gonna have like a throne with him, her, and the baby. That's just way too happy for Game of Thrones. Way too happy.
I mean, that's what it seems like it's leading up to. I mean, I don't know why he has so much baby talk. Like, Jon's never... I mean, it just seemed kind of out of character. I mean, I haven't really been sold on this romance since the beginning. It's been forced upon me.
Yep.
And I'm like, at this point...
I
know it's gonna happen. I know it happened. I'm sorry, it happened, but I still don't like it. I mean, it's just, I feel like all of a sudden it's here, and I'm like, I have to automatically believe. And it took him how long to, like, I don't know.
That's a problem of this season. Things moved way too fast. Like, I have no idea when they fell in love. I have no idea why she's so into him. And I was kind of let down by this sex scene, because I feel like, again, since it's so like cut short, I feel like it should have played like he went in the room, they're starting to talk, and then one thing leads to another. But no, we don't get to see that. We just see the Rhaegar and Lyanna thing that we all know already, and then it's like cross-cutting with this whole Dany and Jon sex.
Well, plus it's a narration telling us that they're confirming for sure that she's his aunt. So it puts a little downer on the entire sex scene.
Yeah, I don't really know what they were going for there. I mean, because it was weird. I think it was to kind of punch you with the incest revelation that we already knew. And then it's like, and then, I mean, like, you didn't even, like I was telling Yasmin earlier, you didn't even see them kiss first. Like, you just saw them going at it. Yeah. I mean, we didn't get a little romance. We didn't get a little, like, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't get any of the romance.
We got like 10 minutes of Miss Auntie and Grey Worm earlier in the season. Why can't we have that with the incest protagonist?
That was a build-up. That was, like, cool and romantic. But, like, the Jon and Dany's just, like, that's it. That's all I got.
So heavy-handed. Their whole relationship.
Why? Can I ask a question? Why was this season only 7 episodes long? Why did they decide to do that?
13 episodes left, and they split it into 2 because HBO wants to make more money, basically.
I guess they with the way they planned it out, they said that they only needed 13 episodes to end the series. So then they just decided to split it in this way.
Instead of just making one season.
They never really elaborated on, like, specifically why. It's just that that it had to be 13 episodes. Like, that was what they had left in themselves.
Well, I'm just going to go on record and say that they need more than 13 episodes to finish it out. Just because the pacing, especially with, like, Dany and Jon's relationship, is all out of whack.
Especially going from a season that, like last season, it's very slow build-up and it feels like a drama. Now it feels a little bit fan fiction-y. Like everything's happening too quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously trying to wrap it up very fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think that's probably my major issue with, you know, I mean, but besides the incest, just with the romance, just believing that these characters, you know, legitimately want to be together and not just because the writers feel it makes sense for their story.
Because Jon is Allyson.
I mean, I feel like I can see where it makes sense dramatically, because the thing is, not only is he like the rightful heir because he's Aegon Targaryen, but now they're also in love with each other. So I feel like not only is she going to feel super lost, but she's going to also be in love with this guy who's kind of like taking her destiny and like flipping it over. So like dramatically, I understand why they're doing it. I just feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I can't speak. It should have earned like the romance a little bit more with me, because it just happened really fast.
Plus, this whole time I've been waiting for Khaleesi to take the throne, not like by herself. Obviously, she has like help, but she's the queen, and she, you know what I mean? It was always just gonna be like her on the throne in my head, anyway. Now, what they're like kind of laying it out as is gonna be her and Jon on the throne.
Oh, and a baby.
And then,
I keep thinking there's going to be a parallel scene where Dany might die, and she passes the baby and says, "Take care of him," and Jon just takes it, which would suck because we've been with this character for so long. But I feel like with everything that's happened so far, that could be a move that would be pulled next season.
Yeah. I agree. It could be. Although I do think either of them could die, because since they are both so selfless and brave and they're always willing to die for what they believe in, they could either one could die, but she could get pregnant and like die in childbirth. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, also I thought it was very interesting that when Bran was explaining to Sam about who Jon really is, he called him the true heir to the Iron Throne, which I think in a lot of theories and a lot of talk around the episode, that's never really been kind of emphasized before. So I thought that was something that surprised me.
What, the true heir part?
Yeah, I don't know, because I know he would be, because the marriage was legitimate. But I mean, I guess, will that cause a problem between them, knowing that she's no longer, she doesn't really have that claim that he has?
Maybe it'll be a matter of Jon
wanted it in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give it to him.
even though he was declared king of the North, he said that he didn't want to be king. I don't think he wants to sit on the throne. So maybe it's one of those things.
It could be. But I mean, I wonder if that would bother Daenerys in a way that
he just gives it to her.
I mean, I think it would, because I think it's going to make her feel a little bit discouraged and disheartened and kind of lost, just because like she's been working for this her whole life since like the first time we've seen her. She's been, you know, like going through obstacles, like, you know, like getting the dragons and then getting the armies and then freeing the slaves and then dealing with the masters and then crossing the narrow sea and then like all of these things that's been leading up to this moment, trying to, you know, fight for the people and getting this throne. But now there's like another thing that she would never see coming, because everyone in the world thinks she's the last Targaryen, but in fact she isn't. So that's going to be, I think, another obstacle in this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I thought she was going to be, because I think the word will get out who Jon really is, and then people will look to him more than her, and I think that is where the issue lies. Not so much that Jon would sidestep, he would. I totally believe he would, you know, step aside and let her be in charge, but I think the way people are, I mean, you know, the patriarchy, man, and I think people will look to him more than her, and I think that would be super frustrating.
Or one or both of them dies, and then the matter's put to rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
that's true.
One of them will roll by default after that.
Yeah, so, guys, did we cover everything, or am I missing?
I will say it's kind of weird. I found it weird story-wise that Bran told Sam about Jon. I was like, if Jon's on his way, why not just wait and tell him? It was like part of the dramatic effect to tell like a different character a big giant secret. I don't know. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, I think that was convenience.
Yeah, because both of them have like pieces of the puzzle that's missing from the other, because Bran thought that he was Jon Sand, but then Sam knows
that's right. Yeah.
He's not a Sand, he's actually a Targaryen and he's the rightful heir. So they both kind of like needed each other to kind of confirm like the real truth about who he is.
That's true.
So I think that was
he's Aegon Targaryen.
And just character-wise, I love how like Sam is so goofy. He's just like, I don't know what that means, and Bran is so serious. It's like, I'm the three-eyed, but I have no idea what that means, dude. I'm here to see Jon, and he's not here, so you're the next best thing.
Essentially, it was just like, well, he's three-eyed raven. Maybe he knew that Sam had information, so he needed to speak to him. I'm not really quite sure how Bran's ability works, honestly. Yeah. It seems to like, because once like Sam told him, he was able to go right back in time to that moment of the marriage between Lyanna and Rhaegar.
Oh. So, can we talk about the marriage scene? I hate the way Rhaegar looks. I figured it'd be somebody better, not Viserys, basically. It's the same wig.
I thought it was him.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it the same actor?
It looked a lot
I don't think
alike.
It is, but they look a lot alike. And I guess I've seen too much fan art of Rhaegar, and I think, like, I thought he'd be finer, and he wasn't. I was kind of, like, let down by him. It's supposed to be, like, Rhaegar Targaryen, the last dragon. Like, this is the person that fought with Robert Baratheon, and he was kind of like this puny guy, and I was not impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember. I just remember like thinking he looked like Viserys or whatever that guy was saying was her brother, and but,
he looked just
yeah, he just looked like him. And then I was like, okay, well, we know that's her brother, and we know that's Lyanna. Okay, they're getting married. Yeah, I mean, it was. I think I kind of was anticipating their marriage scene showing up in this episode because it was called The Dragon and the Wolf, and I knew it was going to be a little bit more about. It would have to be a little bit of a confirmation there, which they finally gave us, which we thought we were going to get last year, which we kind of did, but now we got it for real. So
am I just alone in my world about this whole baby situation?
No, you're not. Like, which baby situation?
How do you guys feel about this?
About what situation?
This Targaryen baby that is going to happen because they keep alluding to her children. She's going to get pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. She's gonna have triplets. No,
3 more dragons.
3 more dragons, you guys, or twins or whatever. I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm not even making sense. But yeah, I mean, I don't want her to be pregnant, but I think it's pretty sure it's going to happen. I mean, why say all those things if you're not leading up to a baby? I just think it's so weird. It's
weird.
But she would have a real child to replace her, scaly child.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, it just kind of came at us all of a sudden. Like last week, but like Tyrion being like, well, what about the future? And I was like, oh, I never really thought about that. And then now it just keeps getting reminded about the children. Yeah. I'm just like, Jesus, okay, we get it. I don't know. I'm not really excited for it, and I hope it doesn't. I mean, I imagine it's gonna take up a good portion of their plot point eventually, but 6 episodes.
I know, but
maybe it's gonna be 6 babies. I'm joking.
I feel like since they're moving so fast, it brings down the quality of the show. I feel like if she's gonna get pregnant, and then all these other storylines have to get wrapped up. I don't know how I feel about next season with all of these coming.
With 2 pregnant queens, I don't know either. It'd be some crazy shit. Those hormones be going nuts. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but at this point I'm on this ship and I'm gonna sail with it. And I know it's gonna like be kind of sinking, but I'll stay on it for now, I guess.
Just hoping the stakes get raised a little bit more. They're not afraid to kill off more characters in order to get to the meat of everything.
Right.
Yeah, that the quality picks back up a little bit.
I have a question. I totally forgot about this. What happened to Bran and Podrick?
They went to have drinks. The adults spoke.
That was all that happened?
Yeah, they left. So they wouldn't get in the middle of any kind of thing that would happen between them.
I thought something more was going to happen.
But... yeah, it was kind of a suspicious, like, hey, kid, let's go have a talk. Like, at first I was like, oh, he's getting him out of the way kind of thing. I don't know. Okay. I kind of forgot that happened, but because we didn't see them for the rest of the episode.
Right. Yeah, I think he was just getting him out of the way just so that he wouldn't get involved with whatever went down, because I think they all know that Cersei's very unpredictable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, this is the other thing that I wanted to bring up. Okay, so when Cersei is talking to Jaime towards the end, when she's like, haha, I was just playing all of them, and she's talking about how she noticed that Daenerys didn't bring one of her dragons.
Oh yeah,
that made me think about, yes, that made me think about like, yo, what if she like ends up making some kind of deal with the Night King next season, like, because she knows. I feel like she'll find out that like he's so powerful and so crazy that he was able to freaking kill a dragon when she couldn't do that. What if she kind of comes up with some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of weird alliance? And I hope when that happens, we'll finally see the White Walkers like talk, and we'll see their culture, because I hear that they have like their own language and their own culture, and I want to see more of that. So maybe this could be like this little intro to that whole world. I don't know. I'm just like guessing here.
Do they have really like enough time to do that though?
I mean, they freaking speed things up like 100 meters. I mean, they speed things up really, really fast. So I'm just saying. I don't think
it's possible to make a bargain with him. I think if you're human, you're kind of, at the mercy of essentially.
Okay. But I mean, they called it out. She made it. I mean, they made it clear that she made it clear that one dragon was missing. So she's gonna do something with that information.
Yeah, I think she's not gonna help them and let the White Walkers take over the dragons. I don't know. I mean, I can't. It's hard to know exactly what Cersei's gonna do. I don't really understand what she's gonna do with the money. I mean, besides having money, like
she's gonna use it to buy the golden company. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think that's we kind of touched on most of it. Are you ready to do some segments?
Yes, let's get into some segments. So
Yay.
every show we always go into our segments. Our Reek of the Week, which is named after the Reek himself, Theon Greyjoy. So basically somebody we think kind of sucked this episode, somebody we just thought was whack and disliked. So we named them our Reek of the Week. This is really, I guess, do you want to rename this to Reek of the Season, maybe? If you guys want to pick somebody you just didn't like, or do you want to do just this episode?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call Tyrion my Reek of the Season, just because he let me down. But all his decision making in regards to being Daenerys' hand, I think like he was a little off in his game. I mean, we thought this was going to be like a perfect alliance, like a perfect team, and it just ended up, you know, there's so many setbacks that we didn't anticipate, and you know, I guess in a way that, I mean, he's still one of my favorite characters, but yeah, I was just kind of overall disappointed by like the results of his work with Daenerys throughout the season.
I feel that way about Jaime. He's not my Reek of the Week since he actually did something this episode, but overall, I'm just disappointed that it took him so long to get there, to finally be like, I have had enough. You are crazy. We're all gonna die. So I wish that it would have happened sooner, but I'm glad that he's finally doing something. I'm just kind of disappointed in him.
Yeah.
I would probably have to go with Cersei, just because, especially in this episode, she's such a hypocrite, and I'm just kind of tired of dealing with her because I feel like she just says the same shit over and over and over again. Especially the scene when she was talking to Tyrion, and she was saying that it's Tyrion's fault that Tommen was dead, and did she mention Marcella or something? And I was like, every action that you've made since this entire show started has indirectly caused the death of your children. Like, how do you not notice that? And it just feels like we've heard the same argument from her like a billion times. I'm just tired of hearing it. So,
yeah, that's a good pick too.
Mm-hmm. Me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, awesome. I think my Reek of the Season definitely has to go to Jaime too, because I don't know what it actually took for him to finally figure out that Cersei is bad for him. You know, Olenna tried telling him, Tyrion tried telling him, Brienne tried telling him. He even like almost drowned for for Cersei, and Cersei just did not care. Cersei was going to kill him just to get in her way. So, but I'm finally glad that his development is finally coming full circle in the last episode. But I'm just sad it took so long to get there. I agree with that sentiment.
Yes. So I feel like I spent a lot of the season saying how bad of a job this person's doing at their job. So I feel like I can't pick anybody else but Tyrion, just like Gabby. I feel like he hasn't been a great hand, which sucks. Because I feel like what's great about Tyrion, you know, people always underestimated him, but he always came back strong because he's very, very smart, and people always didn't thank him for how strong and how brilliant he was. So he's kind of lost some of that this season, which makes me sad because I really like that character. And I still really like this character, which is why I hope we see better from him next season. But you know, who knows? They could fuck that up too. So we'll see. And next up, we have our Lord or Lady Commander of this season. We'll do season again. And this is basically the MVP of the season, who we thought ruled this season, who we thought was awesome all around. And Gabby, go first.
Gab,
who was your Lord or Lady Commander of this season?
I don't know. Okay, okay. My pick for this episode Lady Commander of this episode would have been Sansa, because I thought that scene with her and Jan was my favorite part. Her like getting back at Littlefinger for all his manipulative bullshit was just so satisfying, and I loved it. So I'm kind of debating making her my Lady Commander of the Week or Jon. I love Jon so, and I think he was amazing this season. And I mean, just kind of like, I don't know, like all of his like crap is now paying off. So I don't know. I can't decide. With Sansa, she kind of pulled us along this story where we were questioning her, and at the end, we shouldn't have questioned her to begin with. So I don't know, you guys. I can't decide. Not going to.
It's okay. You can make it episode. Because I think season is kind of daunting and hard. So if you can't do season, just do the episode.
Okay.
So yes, Sansa's my Lady Commander of the Week.
Mine too.
And maybe even the season.
Mine too. Yeah. And I would say House Stark overall is my favorite of the season. But Jon isn't really a Stark, so
he's half a Stark.
He's half a Stark. Half. You could say House Stark if you want.
Half Stark.
He's still
you could be two houses, like you said.
Yeah.
Just take his pep talk to heart,
Yeah, we'll be either so mine is the dual houses. Mine is Dany, because she frustrates me sometimes.
He's got his father's like mistakes. He's too honorable sometimes.
He is too honorable all of the time. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, all the time. I was just I gotta get him. All the time.
He admitted to that though. Like he's aware that.
I know. Like I love how they're calling out some of his faults.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that moment, and like when Sansa was like, "I'm a slow learner, but I learned." Like I love that scene because she gets so much shit for like being stupid or whatever, but
yeah,
at the end she comes out strong.
Yeah, I would probably say she's my Lady Commander of the Week, just for those same reasons that you guys have already pretty much talked about.
Yep, she's mine too.
Yeah,
I've always been a Sansa defender, so of course I can't pick anybody else but my girl, Queen of the North.
For me, really, like Sansa was great, but I was going through the different characters of the season, and there was just one scene that stood out to me that helped me make the decision. Lady Olenna Tyrell in her death scene just completely just took everything away, because she's the only one, just in her death scene, she's the only one who got to Jaime and who got to Cersei just with one single sentence, one single glance, and just one phrase, and that just completely, changed Jaime on his kind of maybe path to good, and actually I think shook Cersei like a little bit. So I think Lady Olenna was my Lady Commander of the season.
That's a really good pick.
It's a great pick. I love her. I'm gonna miss her.
Oh, rest in peace, Lady Olenna.
Rest in peace.
All right. Next up, we have our Swing the Sword. This is where we take our metaphorical swords and swing them at the person we wish was dead. And we could pick this episode or this season, whichever way you want. I always pick Littlefinger, but he's already dead, thank God. So I don't know who to really pick. Oh, I guess I don't want to say Cersei, because I feel like if she were to die, it would make things too boring. So I'm going to have to say like maybe Euron, because I know some people like him, like he's like a likable villain or whatever, but to me, like, it's just annoying and kind of petty and doesn't really do anything for me. So I could do without him on my screen. So Euron will be my sword.
Yeah, I couldn't even think. I mean, because we were all focused on Littlefinger, and I agree that killing Cersei off too early would kind of, kill some of the momentum that was built up, to this point. So I don't know. I don't know who I'd kill right now. I think I have to be very picky about who I'd kill.
This is a good. There's like not that many villains left, right? Because you got
You got Cersei, you got the Night King. Those are the two main ones.
Yeah.
But we're busy too thinking about like what makes a good story and who do you think should die.
I want the Mountain to die because it takes away some of Cersei's power. She has that physical presence behind her all the time, and eliminating him kind of breaks her wall down a little bit. She doesn't have somebody to just hack and slash the people that are in front of her.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
So it might be interesting to get rid of him. And I want to see what his face looks like underneath that.
Oh, I'm scared to see it.
So creepy.
I just want the reveal.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be the Hound that kills him. I feel like
I don't know anymore. I really hope they do, but I just think we're never gonna get our Clegane Bowl. It's never happening.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I think I would probably pick the Night King just because she died. This is gonna really kill a lot of people. So yeah, I'm just picking him.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I think at this point having Cersei. Yeah, at this point having Cersei die would just be unsatisfying because we've wanted her to die for so long. Just to have her finally die would just not be as fun. So honestly, yeah, it's kind of hard to choose one. I just think Jorah should die because he should have died a long time ago, and we need to have some more drama going on in House Targaryen. I think that'll be a good way to drive some kind of story for Daenerys. So I think Jorah should die.
That's cool.
Jorah.
Yeah, I don't know anyone specific I would choose, but I think it'd have to be like a character that we liked just to up some tension and angst or whatever. But I don't know who. I don't have the heart to like pick someone because then I just feel guilty.
Because then if it happens, you'll be like, "Oh crap! I said that last year." Yeah, I understand.
Maybe Bran. I could get away with wanting him to die.
Yeah, he's very questionable kind of character. Alrighty.
And next up, we have our green site segment. This is where we kind of, talk about what we think will happen next season. We kind of always touch upon this already throughout the episode, but can delve deeper into it right here and now. If anybody has any green sight into what they think might happen, any theories you want to talk about or touch upon, any theories you heard about that you think is want to see happen, or let's hear it.
Well, I was going to ask you guys this earlier this week, but I forgot. What do you think of the Bran being the Night King theory? It's one I've seen all over the internet the past week, and I'm curious.
So when people say that, they mean that like he mind traveled into this person's mind like back in the day, and then like right now like it's his fault that the Night King exists. Is that what they mean?
Yeah, something like that.
Sort of
like he time travels or whatever. I don't know.
It's his fault that Hodor died, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read some stuff on it, and apparently the way that his power works is he can't like warg back in time, so he couldn't like be the Night King walking like some people are suggesting like Bran is actually inside the Night King and fighting and doing everything and being in two places at once. It's all very confusing, and I still don't understand how his powers work. But I don't think that
it is really.
Yeah, I don't think that he's the Night King. At least I hope not, because that's too confusing.
Wait, what was that?
I'm gonna go with a no, only because I feel like they might want to simplify things for us by next season, and I think that just makes it a lot more complicated. So I'm going to say that he is not the Night King.
Yeah, I didn't really believe this theory either when I first heard it like a few weeks ago, but then it gained like some momentum lately, and I'm like, okay, more and more people are believing this, and I'm like, is there something that I should believe? Because yeah, I just, it doesn't seem like they have enough time, like you're saying, that they don't have enough time to kind of explain it. Our understanding of Bran's powers is really, convoluted right now. Yeah. So
And it seems like they've just been using Bran's powers as an excuse for storytelling lately. And I kind of just don't want that to be the case for that. Like, it sounds like an interesting theory, but they've been using the warging, power to explain so much lately. I just don't want it to be the big deciding factor, the big grand finale. I feel like that'd be a little bit of a cop-out, honestly.
Yeah.
If it did end up being true, it would be a nice reflection to Bran getting shoved out of the tower in the pilot. Kind of, he's the one that started the chaos that we've seen throughout the series, and then he's also the one that started the chaos that we haven't seen, that we've just been told in narration. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it did, it would be a cool parallel.
Oh man, now you make me think it's likely.
Yeah. Local Stark ruins everything.
I mean, yeah, because it kind of started with him, and it could end with him. So, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that line of thinking makes sense for sure.
Just for some kind of justification. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the one I've been seeing a lot lately, and then touched on the baby stuff a bit. We're pretty sure that there's going to be a little Targaryen coming around soon.
Pretty sure. But whether that baby lives or dies is to be determined.
I feel like the baby will live and then Daenerys will die, and that would just be like, really? She only lived to give birth? Like, that's so stereotypical. Like, we're only good to be mothers.
Yeah. Which also could be Jon could die too. I could see that coming.
Or Cersei could steal the baby.
Oh God.
Something could happen to her baby and she just steals the baby.
So she just becomes a hysterical mother.
I would not be surprised at this point.
Jeez, what an ending that would be.
Oh my
God. Days of Our Lives shit going down.
Cersei's gonna find out what killed Tyrion, and she's gonna send some armies to get more of those spears. I'm calling it.
Oh, like those. Yeah. Oh man. She probably will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they've still got that giant spear launching thing.
Yeah, but how would she find out unless she got into cahoots with the Night King, which just seems really weird to have a human.
Well, I mean, the Iron has little birds all over the place, so I won't be surprised if she finds out somehow.
I mean, because people witness. Well, they sort of witnessed it. I mean, if someone told someone else what happened with the dragon, then they would.
I mean, when they see the dragon, I think. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people saw that the spear went through the dragon, so people talk in the north and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that she would probably just end up putting all the facts together. Like, Dany said that she was up there, the dragon isn't there. Two and two together, yeah.
I'm gonna try to get a spear from the Night King. And I think Daenerys, when she comes up north, is gonna have a lot of minds to change, because the Northerners are very proud men, and they don't trust Targaryens. So she has a lot of minds to set at ease. So I think that's gonna be another challenge for her.
Oh yeah, and I think that's why he said they wanted to do the sailing together to show a unifying front. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of convincing to do up there.
Especially when Sam and Bran have to have that awkward conversation with them.
And when Sam finds out that she fried his father and brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh. There's going to be a lot of fights next season.
Yeah. And only 6 episodes? That'll be interesting. 6
2-hour episodes, so it's really 12.
And they made that come from 2019, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, that it's not coming back till 2019, because they haven't started filming yet. I think they start filming in October. So,
oh my gosh.
I guess
that's a long time.
I mean, does they really need to go into post-production for that long? Unless they have a lot of things going on that requires more time. But
if they're gonna be 2 hours long, that's essentially 6 full-length movies. So maybe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're gonna be 2 hours long, but I'm assuming that they're gonna be longer episodes, maybe last week and this week's episode.
But think about how long Sherlock goes in between seasons, because they essentially do 3 full-length movies too, and they take forever. That's also counting in, you know, their schedules and shit, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a long wait. Either way. Yes.
No, we're gonna be on hiatus for a long time.
We'll have to wait a very long time until we all reunite again for Queen's Landing.
Yeah,
it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it will. All right.
I think we're gonna wrap it here. We had a lot of fun talking about the show this season. We're big fans of the show. Make sure you watch this recap of our episode on our website on theyoungfolks.com, and also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and hit us up on our Twitters to see if you want to talk to us about what we may have missed and or what theories you may have. What are your thoughts on it? Season finale. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let us know. Please let me know you hate this baby idea the way I do. And we'll see you guys next year or 2019, but hopefully next year. Thanks for joining us. We had so much fun. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.